Hello, everyone, and welcome to another week of Just Gay Stuff podcast. My name is Jess.
And I'm Lauren.
And this week it's our Christmas episode. It is Christmas today. Merry Christmas.
Merry Queermas.
Merry Queermas. Lauren is patenting that saying. I don't know if anyone's come up with it before, but if you have, she's coming for you.
Yeah.
So whether you say Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays, or if you don't celebrate at all, we hope you're still having a fabulous time and keeping safe over this crazy season.
Yes, and because December seems to be taken up with so much of the silly season, we thought we'd do a bit of a LGBT history but light and fun episode.
Yeah, and to help us do that, this week we have the wonderful Teigan from that very awesome queer all-girl band from Brisbane called Being Jane Lane joining us.
Hello.
Yay, it's so good to have you back on.
Yeah.
Oh, look, stoked to be here. Thanks for asking me to get involved with one of my other passions, which is history. But also, light and fun might not be the way it goes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, well,
I feel like
that's
history is hard to make light and fun.
Well, we'll see how you interpret it.
Most of the time.
Well, so Teigan, the reason we asked you to come on and do this episode with us is because our little local radio gem, 4ZZZ, you have a show on there called the Hangover on Mondays. And in this show, you do a segment called On This Day. So we decided we were going to do this as a Christmas edition called In This Month.
Ooh.
Nice. Yes. Love it. And I have definitely correlated the information for that.
I cannot
I'm
wait.
So excited.
Also, I don't know, I just sort of like was looking everywhere, and also gay stuff doesn't happen in one country all in 1 month sort of thing. So it's all over the world, and it's exciting because I learned a bunch of stuff. So shall I just get started?
Well, before you do get started, we actually wanted to ask you, because you are such a history buff, when did that start for you? What got you into that?
I think I just enjoy knowing what happened in the past. I think it's interesting to know how we got where we are at this point in time. I was actually really terrible at history in high school. I did ancient and modern history. Modern history was more exciting, but ancient history, I flopped. But, I flopped most classes. But, yeah, I just like it. I just like to know. I like to know stuff. Yeah. And it's always interesting. Always interesting. A lot of the time it's sad. Violent though.
Yeah, well, you're not
that's
wrong.
history, really. Yeah,
it is.
But if we picked, a specific genre, it could be less,
Yeah,
I
don't
depressing
think so.
sometimes.
Like Christmas presents throughout the years, I feel would be less violent than probably this episode.
I don't know. It depends. It depends on the kind of Christmas present.
Actually, do you know, one Christmas, I don't know if you remember these toys, like 90s kids would probably remember these toys.
Is this going to be a Furby story?
No, it's not a Furby story. It's do you know those dolls that had the string and you like pull the string and they fly off?
Oh,
yes.
Those. I love those.
So they're like a fairy ballerina type thing.
fairy.
Yeah.
So one Christmas, I got one of those, and in the very first pull of the string, it smacked me in the eye, and I had to wear an eye patch all day on Christmas.
Oh, no.
Oh, savage. Oh, you did that to yourself too.
Yeah, that was on you.
So that was pretty violent for a Christmas day for me.
You weren't a
Oh, I'm sure everybody was giving you lots of love, though. You would have been a cute kid, even with a patch on, you know?
Yeah, well, I was it was a pirate Christmas.
She's still a cute kid.
Get
I was
out.
going to say, were you the same size?
Yeah, I stopped growing at 12.
Nice. I always think in terms of dangerous toys. I don't know if you guys ever had the Barbie one that had basically a lighter on the bottom. So she had rollerblades. Sorry. She was a rollerblading Barbie in the 90s, and she had what was essentially the flicker of a lighter underneath as the wheel, so she would go around and just send sparks out.
What?
Yeah. Ugulate. It's like, it's for real. I don't think it started any fires or anything, but there was
That you know
definitely
of.
sparks. Yeah, that I know of anyway.
Sparks
not in my
were
house.
flying that
but
Christmas.
yeah, we had her. It was a good time.
That's epic. Speaking of Christmas, are we staying specifically in the LGBT Christmas December theme, or have we gone a little bit out of the umbrella?
It is all LGBT history that happened during the month of December.
Love it.
Awesome.
Is it Christmas related? Not all of it.
Okay.
Love it.
Cool. Well, let's get into it. I'm super excited.
Let me put me Christmas history cap on.
Oh, I thought you were going to fix these little Christmas trees that you have on your head. Okay, never mind.
I'm good.
cute headbands, guys.
Thank you.
Christmas is my
Yeah.
favourite time of the year, so I'm just like...
It's a bloody good time of the year, isn't it?
It is.
Do you know what else? I had someone say to me the other day, you can't not like religion and still celebrate Christmas. And I was like, if religious people are going to cherry pick the Bible, so am I.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, take what you like. That's what I
Yeah.
say. Yeah, definitely. And that's not even like a very Christian thing to say to somebody.
I know,
You're
right?
You're always
Anyway,
welcoming everyone.
so put that in your pipe and smoke it.
Yeah, get it.
All right, let's go. I'm so excited.
Me too.
Okay. All right, we're starting on December the 2nd. In 1998, when hundreds of right-wing activists stormed 2 film theatres in India in 1988 to suspend the showing of the film Fire by Toronto director Deepa Mehta, the first Indian film to focus on a lesbian relationship. So 200 right-wing activists called the Shiv Sainiks stormed a Cineplex in suburban Mumbai, smashing glass panes, burning posters and shouting slogans, compelling managers to refund tickets to moviegoers. The next day, a Regal Theatre in Delhi was similarly stormed. Meena Kulkarni, one of the Delhi protesters, explained the reasoning behind their actions as, quote, if women's physical needs get fulfilled through lesbian acts, the institution of marriage will collapse, a reproduction of human beings will stop, end quote.
Wow.
That's on, yeah. So it's December 2nd. On December 3rd, 2012, Thai Airlines began recruiting their transgender flight attendants, the first ones, in an attempt to forge a unique identity for itself in a highly competitive market. So that was in 2012, which was fairly progressive
Yeah.
for the times.
Because we think 2012 is pretty recent, but it's not anymore.
No,
Not
it's
anymore.
at least a decade ago, over
Yeah.
a decade ago now. But yeah, the PC Air founder and president Peter Chan wanted to change Thai politics and open up other opportunities for transgender people. He said that transgender people in Thailand have limited job prospects and are often employed as dancers, entertainers, or in shops.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is super good though. Like trans people should have the exact same rights as anybody else.
Yeah.
And especially working rights. So that's really progressive.
Sure. Absolutely. So December 4th, a vigil was held in December of 1998 for a slain African-American transgender woman called Rita Hester in Alston, Massachusetts. The vigil went on to become Transgender Day of Remembrance in the USA. Her life was respectfully covered by local newspapers, and her death also inspired Remember Our Dead web project.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, things you don't know, hey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's like one of those heavier sides of the topic that we were talking
Literally,
about.
I find it really hard in history to find anything that's super fun.
Yeah.
And I get this every time on the show, and I'd be like, because I literally just want to look for fun stuff like quirky history, but there's just no such thing really, like on a regular basis. So I kind of just gave up and be like, people can just hear what happened.
Yeah.
Because this is what happened. And unfortunately, with, LGBT history as well, it's all conflict awareness and having our rights at the same time. You know what I mean? Like all these things.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like hurdle and like stories of oppression and all of those things.
Absolutely.
And hopefully we can fine-tooth comb in between to find some like positive story or positive outcome.
I think the positive thing is now that we can be here telling these stories, you know what I mean? Like we're all in the community, we walk the streets fine, we don't, most of us, I think
Yeah.
the
Most of
majority
us,
things
yeah.
have changed, and there's evidence of that in these historical stories at the end of the day. So we're on to December 5th when the bisexual pride flag was on. This is not as, this one's not as bad. So the bisexual pride flag was unveiled on December the 5th, 1988, and the flag was designed by Michael Page, who was inspired by Binet. It's International Volunteers Day today, on that day also. So according to Michael Page, the designer of the flag, the pink stripe represents attraction to same sex, while the blue stripe represents attraction to opposite sex. The purple stripe is the resulting overlap of the blue and the pink stripes, representing attraction to both sexes. Michael Page designed the flag to increase visibility of bisexuals among society as a whole and within the LGBT community. He aimed to give the bisexual community a symbol that is comparable to the rainbow flag for the greater LGBT community. The first flag was unveiled at Bi Cafe's first anniversary party on December 5th, 1998.
That's
Bi
so
Cafe.
cool.
Wow.
I'd like to go there and grab a coffee.
Do you know, I didn't even know what the colours represented on the bi
neither.
flag until then.
Yeah, neither did I. That's the thing. Like all of the flags have such meanings and stuff. And as a bad gay, I guess. I've never even bothered to find out.
Same.
I say this to Lauren all the time, but before doing the podcast, I literally did not immerse myself in any queer culture. So this is like the most exposed I've been to, I suppose, queer history and learning about all these other aspects of queer culture and then going, holy shit, I think I should have known that.
Been
like being a
involved,
gay,
yeah.
I should have known that, and you just don't.
Me too, but I'm still a baby gay girl.
Yeah, well, I feel like I've seen so many gay films, but that was like what I was doing. I wasn't like looking up the history of the Stonewall riots or anything. I didn't know about that until I was like, well older and been gay for a long time.
Yeah, same.
That's why this kind of thing is fun, especially for me, because I didn't know basically any of this stuff before, I was looking it up to do this show today. So we all get to learn.
Yeah.
I love it. I think our audience love that so much, the educational side of things.
We get some really good feedback on educational episodes, so I'm keen.
Yeah.
Well, I'm a little bit worried now. I hope this one's good enough.
No, it'll be great.
Yeah. We're on to December 6th, where the film Trembling Before God, about lesbian and gay Orthodox Jews trying to reconcile their sexualities with their faith, was released in Israel on this day. In 2001, Sandy Simcha Dubikowski directed the film and also produced Parvez Sharma's documentary about gay and lesbian Muslims called Jihad for Love. During the film's 6-year production, Dubikowski met hundreds of homosexual Jews, but only a handful agreed to be filmed due to the fear of being ostracized by their communities. Many people who agreed to be interviewed are shown in silhouette or their faces are pixelated. The majority of the participants are American Jews. A rabbi, interviewed Dubikowski complained that the film, quote, makes us appear narrow and bigoted. Arthur A. Goldberg, co-director of the Jewish ex-gay organization Jonah, wrote a letter to the editor of the Jerusalem Post lamenting the film's, quote, the film's bias and faulty assumption that same-sex attraction is a behavior that is irreversible, and that, quote, opposing views were, in the reviewer's words, left lying on Dubikowski's cutting room floor. So basically just the organization is a conversion therapy type situation. And they're saying that the film says that it's like portrays homosexuality as irreversible, which is not something that person wants to see. With a seed grant from Steven Spielberg, the creators of the film set up a Trembling Before God Orthodox Education project to teach Orthodox educators and rabbis about homosexuality, as well as conveying the first Orthodox mental health conference on homosexuality and training facilitators to show the film to community leaders. Over 2,000 principals, educators, and school counselors have attended screenings within Israel's religious school system. The film has now been seen by an estimated 8 million people worldwide.
Wow.
It's pretty cool, the power of film, hey?
Yeah.
That to me is incredible as a queer Jewish woman myself. I'm like, that's insane. When Jess and I did a history episode, we found out that Tel Aviv was like one of the
safest
gay
hotspots
areas.
Yes.
And I was so stunned by that.
Also, I love how you just read the guy didn't want the film to portray everybody as bigoted and blah, blah, blah. It's like, well, don't be bigoted. Like, you're the problem.
You're the issue.
And then that's lucky that they got the seed grant and then made all the training and stuff like that. So then those kind of perspectives can be integrated into people's
I
ideologies.
think that's wonderful that they're showing it in schools and stuff, or like educational programs. That's insane. I think more of that needs to happen even in like the Western places.
Yeah, we don't even have that out here.
Absolutely. I learned not one thing that I remember about homosexuality in school.
Nope, neither.
Not one thing. Well, not in school classrooms. I learned everything else from outside. That's cool.
Like Rage on a Saturday morning and the tattoo video clip came on with all the things she said.
Legitimately. And television. Yeah, gosh. Where would we be? Oh, all the things she said.
Running through
I got
my
that
head.
song. I was like literally in the shower with that song in my head the other day. I was like, this is bad.
You know that meme that's like, can't believe I used to buy ringtones for 99 cents? I'm like, I bought that song.
Yeah, no.
That was my ringtone.
How long did you have that for on
A
as your
long
ringtone?
time.
Forever.
Yeah.
As a 12-year-old.
You're like, it's still that.
She's like, I only just got rid of it yesterday.
No,
Yeah.
as a 12-year-old, my first email address was Tattoo Rocks at Hotmail.
Oh,
Was it actually?
Wow.
And then
wow.
I remember saying to my mum, when I get a car, I'm going to get the number plate TATU.
Oh my gosh. That is the gayest.
Looking back
That would have
now,
been funny
I'm like,
as.
yeah, that's a red flag.
Absolute. That's a rainbow flag
That
right
is
there.
a rainbow flag. Not a red flag rainbow.
That's a great story. I love that. A friend of ours, we kind of thought she might be gay, and then her best friend was going through her wallet and found pictures of tattoo in there. And that was the solid. We're like, yep, that's that's a
There's
big
the sign.
rainbow flag.
Do you know what's
Yeah.
funny? Because they were so taboo at the time, even in pop culture, you would find like little cutouts and posters of them in the back of like Playboy and stuff like
Yeah,
that. And my
yeah.
uncle used to cut them out and give them to me because obviously as a teenager, I'm not able to go and read the magazine. So he
Yeah,
was like,
right.
oh, I got these for you. I'm like, yeah, cheers, bruv.
Thanks.
Yeah, like, thanks, man.
So good.
Counting down
Uncle
the days
helping
till
you
we
out.
gave them to you.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant. That's such uncle behaviour. Alrighty, so we're on to December 7th. And we are going in consecutive order here. After 4 failed attempts during the 1970s and 1980s, the Labor government of Peter Dowding in Western Australia removed consenting homosexual activity from the criminal code. The law passed into law on March 1990 under the Labor Premier Cameron Lawrence, who happened to be the first woman to become Premier in an Australian state.
Wow.
That's it. So when was that? 1989 was when they removed the homosexual activity from the criminal code.
Isn't it crazy that it was only 1994 where being gay was decriminalised? And then Tasmania had their own shit going on. They're like, we're going to keep it till 1997.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Wow.
Absolutely. And even 1989, that was the year I was born. That's like in my lifetime.
Yeah, wow.
This is why it's interesting.
Yeah.
It is
Right? You're like, wow,
interesting.
this is how people lived.
Yeah,
Or
totally.
didn't live.
Yeah.
Yeah, more importantly.
Yeah. We're off to the Netherlands now, and it's December 8th. So the Netherlands Centre for Culture and Leisure, said to be the oldest surviving organisation for gay and lesbian rights, was founded on that day in 1946 with the aims of contributing to social emancipation of gays and lesbians, as well as providing culture and recreation for them. The COC Nederland, also known as the COC Netherlands, is a Dutch LGBTQ plus rights group founded in 1946. The COC originally stood for, is it Danish that I'm going to be trying to speak right now? Like, Cultuur en Ontspanningscentrum. So it basically just stands for, merci beaucoup. Centre of Culture and Leisure, which was intended as a cover for its real purpose, which is, to help out the gays.
Yeah, wow.
And give them recreational centre.
I was going to say 1946 is full progressive, but yeah, they had to hide it under a facade.
Legit, yeah. But it still exists today, so that's
so
cool.
good.
So cool.
That would have been good for them to progressively go from having to have a front of what they were doing to now probably they're just open in what they're doing. So
I didn't add it in, but I do believe that I read that they changed the name just so that it's not a cover name anymore.
yeah.
Make it more integrated into today's
They're
life.
not avoiding taxes anymore.
They probably still are. That's age old forever. So here we are, the 9th of December, and we're in Australia, where the amendment of the Federal Marriage Act gave same-sex couples the same right to marry as heterosexual couples. So same-sex marriage legislation would fail 22 times in federal parliament between 2004 and 2017, most notably in September 2012, when legislation was rejected by large majorities in both houses of parliament, despite the Gillard Labor government agreeing to a conscience vote on the issue. In 2017, the Turnbull Liberal National Government, having been denied the opportunity to hold a plebiscite, succeeded in conducting a voluntary postal survey on same-sex marriage, which resulted in a 61.6% yes vote in the favour of legislation. But yeah, such a small margin.
Yeah. And
But we were all there for that, weren't we?
Yeah,
Sure
we
were.
definitely were. I remember we talked about this in our episode that we did with you and Lou. Episode 30 for anyone who wants to go back and listen to the Being Jane
go
Lane
back.
episode. It is a great listen.
It's
very
quite a fun one.
But yeah, we talked about the fact that why was it a vote? Like, why did people that have no part in our human rights voting on what we can and cannot do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm also like, that's the only good thing I know that Malcolm Turnbull did.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Oh, he did some other things that were good.
Yeah.
I watched a doco and I went away not hating him. And I'm
that's
like not a
good.
liberal voter by any stretch, but yeah, just I didn't hate him. He was up
Yeah.
against like Tony Abbott though, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Scott Morrison was another person in the doco. So
Budgie smugglers in Hawaii.
he looks great compared
Slim
to those
pickings.
guys. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's
Yeah,
true.
legit.
Slim pickings.
It's the lesser of the evils, though, in politics, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, he's an interesting man.
Yeah.
Sad that we all had to wait till 2017.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we're here now. It's
We
good.
are
Here
here.
now.
Unless it gets repealed, like
Yeah.
they tried to do in America. Didn't they try
Well,
to do that? I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
I think the message is we just got to keep showing up for each other and making sure that it's still the
Absolutely.
forefront of conversation, because then we can't get complacent, because that's what will happen.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly right. And we can't go backwards.
No.
No.
That's just lame.
Yes.
Nobody wants that.
Nobody wants
Well,
to be
not
lame.
nobody.
Yeah, that's true.
Who wants to be lame? Anyway, we're going to bring this down to December 12th, where trans man Tina Brandon, whose murder made him a cause celebrity, was born on this day. In 1972, Tina would be played by Hilary Swank in the 1999 influential feature film Boys Don't Cry, about Tina's murder. Have you guys seen that one?
No.
Really?
Yeah. I'm not good with
Wow.
movies. I'm
I'll
not good
have
with
to add
movies.
Really?
that. We'll have to add that to the list. We're
Yeah.
trying to collate a bunch of movies and TV shows that we haven't seen and do like a watch party thing.
Yeah.
Like a gay
Yeah,
themed
a gay
one?
themed
Yeah.
watch party.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you know, someone actually came to us and told us that we should hire out a cinema and do like a queer watch party weekend.
Hey, that's a
and
great idea.
invite a bunch of queers.
Yeah, so that might be
All a
on
bunch
the
of
card.
queers, like in the dark watching soft porn, basically.
Speaking of movies I hadn't seen, I finally watched The Wizard of Oz for the first time like 2 weeks ago.
Are you okay? Is it because you like hit yourself in the eye with that thing? You're like, I missed it. Oh,
No, it's because Lauren bought tickets to Wicked. And she was like, you need to watch The Wizard of Oz before you go. You'll have more context of what's going on. And I was like, yeah, sweet. So I watched it. And
She wasn't impressed.
Like, for the time, like for 1939, yeah, brilliant film. Through a 2024 lens, I'm like, what a fucking shit movie.
Wow. Now I need to watch it because I
Yeah.
still have my childhood memories. I haven't rewatched it.
Yeah, see, I don't have any of them.
Yeah, okay. Well,
Yeah, she
that's
watched
the
as an
sad thing
adult.
for a lot of people, because heaps of movies were good when you were a child because you didn't understand that they were crap.
Yeah.
And then you watch them back and you're like, oh, wow. But yeah, I've been actually doing that similar thing too, like rewatching old stuff. I was rewatching Pound Puppies, like really baby stuff.
Wow.
And also Ewoks and stuff. Pound Puppies is actually a really good show, and so is Ewoks. But yeah, it's good stuff.
Wow.
But some of them are crap. I haven't come across a really bad one yet. Oh, the Gummy Bears show. Did you guys ever watch Gummy Bears?
Nah.
Nah, okay. I think I watched it as a kid because it's familiar, but the show was crazy. Anyway, I was like, what is going on? It was too much for me.
That's gummy bears for you.
Yeah, look, hey, don't get into it. Don't get into it.
Don't get into the gummies.
Yeah, stay clear. Or not. December 14th, the last person to be arrested for sodomy in Australia. So the last person to be arrested for sodomy in Australia was a man in Hobart, Tasmania, on the December 14th, 1984. He was found guilty of having relations with another man in a car on the side of the road and was sentenced to 8 months in jail. Tasmania was the last state in Australia to decriminalise consensual sex between adult men in private in 1997.
So they could do it in public?
As you said. No, like you can't have sex in public at all. That's still illegal.
How progressive are we?
Yeah, look, maybe we should decriminalise that.
I'm just kidding, everybody.
Yeah, don't. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. Cool. December 15th, 1973. The American Psychiatric Society votes to remove homosexuality from its lists of mental illnesses. The field of psychology has extensively studied homosexuality as human sexual orientation. The American Psychiatric Association listed homosexuality in the DSM-1 in 1952 as a, quote, sociopathic personality disturbance. But the classification came under scrutiny in research funded by the National Institute of Mental Health. The research and subsequent studies consistently failed to produce any empirical or scientific basis for regarding homosexuals as anything other than a natural and normal sexual orientation that is healthy and positive expression of human sexuality. As a result of this scientific research, the American Psychiatric Association removed homosexuality from the DSM-2 in 1973. Upon a thorough review of the scientific data, the APA followed in 1975 and also called on all mental health professionals to take the lead in, quote, removing the stigma of mental illness that has long been associated with homosexuality.
Yeah,
cool times.
That's a crazy one. And in our episode, I don't know if it was last week or a couple of weeks ago, we talk about like the origins of words. And apparently gay men started calling themselves gay and taking on that word because the word homosexual was too entwined with the fact that people were considering it mental illness. So they didn't want to brand themselves mentally ill, so they changed the words to suit themselves.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Reclaiming the power.
Yeah, reclaiming
it. That sounds like something they would do for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Love it.
I would.
Absolutely. Taking back your power at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We're on to December 15th in Australia, where the first same-sex wedding takes place after the postal survey. Joe and Jill Kint. It's a KNDT name. I'm not sure how you say that, but kind... were the first same-sex couple to marry in Australia after the law passed in December 2017. The couple married in their Sunshine Coast garden and were married and registered in one day after the registrar ruled exceptional circumstances. The couple were granted an exemption from the official 30-day waiting period because Grant was terminally ill with a rare cancer. The couple were only married for 48 days before Grant died from cancer on July 30, 2018. That is kind of beautiful and sad at the same time.
Yeah, that was really tragically beautiful.
Yeah, I thought that was going to be a happy one, to be fair.
Soz.
Yeah.
It's just like jokes, it's history.
Actually, when you said terminally ill and then the fact that they died, I literally got goosebumps all over my body. I was not ready.
No.
Right? Someone's going to make a movie about that.
Yeah.
Or we're going to do it. Oh my
God. TM.
Okay, so this next one is happened a really long time ago, so we're unsure whether it actually, well, I'm unsure of the information, but I thought it was an interesting story, so we're putting it in anyway. Okay. It reckons on December 24th, which is Christmas Eve, over 500 Knights Templars, which is the order dedicated to protecting pilgrims on their way to the Holy Land, recanted their confessions of homosexual activities, which they had admitted to under torture. King Philip IV had 50 of them burned soon after, including their Grand Master Jacques de Molay, whom he had burned on this day in 1305 on a scaffold he had constructed on a small island in the River Seine opposite Notre Dame de Paris. Molay subsequently became a figure of legend. So they basically tortured all these Knights Templars into saying that they'd been getting it on there while they were out there in the field, and then they were burned for it.
Holy shit.
Yeah. The Knights Templars at all are just like a super interesting historical story, and they come up in like heaps of like games and stuff too. Assassin's Creed, I'm pretty sure there's some Knights Templars and stuff in there.
Oh yeah, I've played that
but
game.
Anyway, yeah, it's a religious story, but yeah, super interesting.
Yeah, that is really interesting.
Yeah. Okay, so we're on the Christmas day now.
Woo! It better be a good one. It better be.
Look, it's not gonna be a fun one, okay? But you will learn something. I can guarantee you that.
All right, that's why we're here.
Yeah, look, that's why I'm here trying to teach something else, to recount the information I learned today. December 25th, Christmas Day in 1950, Time magazine ran its first ever article on homosexuality. It stated that homosexuals should not work in government jobs because they are a security risk, adding fuel to the fire that was the lavender scare in the mid-20th century. Have you ever heard of the lavender scare?
No.
Neither had I, but let me tell you what it is.
Enlighten us.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me. The lavender scare was a moral panic, so it's like satanic panic, but
Yeah.
lavender scare about homosexual people in the United States government, which led to their mass dismissal from government service during the mid-20th century. Gay men and lesbians were said to be a national security risk and communist sympathizers, which led to the call to remove them from state employment. It was thought that gay people were more susceptible to being manipulated, which could pose a threat to the country. Lesbians were less at risk of persecution than gay men, but some lesbians were interrogated and lost their jobs. I always just feel like they don't know who lesbians are.
Yeah. Also, from what I took from that was like, they're more likely to be the get in the van person.
Yeah.
And also, I feel like the common misconception would be that, you know how people say like, oh, if you say that you're gay, it's like, oh, but don't fall in love with me. It's like, we like everybody. I would feel that's more of a HR risk.
Yeah. I feel like they just don't suspect women of doing anything, really. So it's like they get away with so much. There was probably like 20 lesbians who like just were under the radar.
That's because they were all married to men, but probably having sex with each other.
Yeah, look, I think you nailed it right there.
You know, those posts about like two women that have lived together their whole life, and the articles like, these are the bestest friends.
I did a Babe of the Week on my show, The Hangover, and I found a Babe of the Week who's like, so the first registered female doctor in Queensland. She's from South Brisbane. She moved to South Brisbane with her best friend.
Oh, yeah, yep.
Her best friend.
And they're buried together in a single grave in Toowong.
They must have
Isn't
been
that
the
cute?
bestest of friends.
Yeah.
They were super, super good friends
You can't
from
get
college
friends like that.
till they died.
No. She probably like spent her tuck shop money on her.
Yeah, 100%.
And the rest was history.
Yeah. Is that how it happened for you the first
It's like, you're
time?
my bestest friend.
I bought her something from the tucky and she was so into me.
Yeah. Chicken burger.
Yeah. Is that the way? Is that the way?
Nah, you bought me food first.
It's true.
All right. Well,
It's
look.
the other way around.
All right, to end this story up, the former US Senator Alan K. Simpson wrote, "The Red Scare has been the main focus of most historians of that period of time. A lesser known element, and one that harmed far more people, was the witch hunt McCarthy and others conducted against homosexuals. The term Lavender Scare was popularized by David K. Johnson's 2004 book, which studied this anti-homosexual campaign in the US called The Lavender Scare. The book drew its title from the term Lavender Lads, which was used repeatedly by Senator Everett Durkinson as a synonym for homosexual males." The end.
Wow. Well, do you know
Yeah.
what? It's not the end because we have some to give you as well.
We're switching
excited.
the teaching tables over.
Do you want to kick us off?
We're going back to the start of December.
Yeah.
December 1st is World AIDS Day.
A few key dates. December 1st is World AIDS Day. December 2nd in 2013, the first official day that LGBTQ couples in Hawaii, both residents as well as tourists, could marry in the Aloha State. Yeah.
December 3rd, 1968, at the Metropolitan Community Church in Los Angeles, the Reverend Troy Perry officiates at what is probably the first public same-sex union ceremony in the US.
Then December 4th, 1970, New York City's first gay community centre opens in Greenwich Village.
Ooh.
Nice.
We've gone in order too.
Yeah,
I just
it's
realised
easy.
that.
It's easy to go in order.
December
Yeah.
5th, in 1642, a Massachusetts Bay servant is sentenced to be whipped for unseemly practices with another woman in the first documented example of legal prosecution in North America for same-sex relations between women.
That's messed
Ooh.
up, hey?
Super messed up.
December 6th, 2011, Elio Di Rupo becomes the first openly gay head of government when he is voted Prime Minister of Belgium.
I think I knew that.
Yeah. I think you said you knew that one.
Yeah, I knew that one.
Yeah.
Nice.
You knew more than me.
December 8th, Pansexual Pride Day.
All right.
And then again on December 8th in 1981, the New York City Gay Men's Chorus becomes the first openly gay musical group to play at Carnegie Hall with their Christmas concert.
Nice.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
I put that one in and took it out.
Did ya?
Yeah. I was
Was it
like,
too happy for you?
no. Yeah,
She's
apparently.
like, yeah.
Apparently I'm here about the doom and gloom to bring you the gloom. But yeah, no, I just thought, I don't know, maybe that it wasn't necessary. But I think didn't they just like played the Nutcracker or something?
I don't know. I didn't look further into it.
In December 9th in 1975, the Washington Star begins a series on homosexuality in American sports and inspired Washington Redskins linebacker to come out to the series author.
Wow.
That's cool.
You guys found nice ones.
All right. On December 11th in 1982, San Francisco votes to pass a domestic partnership bill. So same-sex couples could be domesticated together.
Wow.
Love it. Get domestic.
Yeah.
Domestic.
San Francisco is the place for gays in America.
Yeah. Totally.
So much gays.
All
They
the
had like gay
gays.
Olympics there.
Yeah, we're going to do an episode on the Gay Olympics.
Oh, it's good.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Excellent. Yeah.
December 13th, 1973, Washington, D.C.'s Title 34 makes discrimination on the basis of sexual orientation illegal.
Which is great.
Brilliant.
But we had this conversation before that it's all well and good to make it illegal. Doesn't make it not happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly right. People still can do whatever the hell they want, really. I got asked at the doctor's in a form the other day, and I didn't know why that was relevant. I don't even remember if I think I left it blank because I'm like, it's none of your business.
Yeah.
What difference does it make to like, unless I was going there for like a sexual health appointment, which it wasn't.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Anyway, yeah, I just thought it was a bit weird.
Well, that's the thing. If it's not relevant to your appointment, it should be irrelevant in general.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not something that, because I was a new patient, so it was like a new patient sign up. It's like, that's going to be on your record that I'm a homosexual. Is that anybody's business unless I'm coming there for a sexual health appointment? Is my
It's
thoughts.
not, but do you
I
think
it
on the
is.
opposite side of that, it's because now, you know, everyone's trying to include what sex and gender and
I think they were more trying to be like inclusive
yeah.
in a way, or like, but I didn't feel like it was necessary.
Yeah, it's not,
totally.
but just,
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely was like, oh, this shouldn't be on the farm. But yeah, like it was interesting. I thought being asked your sexual orientation, signing up to a doctor's appointment.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. December 14th is HIV Cure Research Day.
Woohoo.
That's exciting.
That is cool.
Yeah, I wonder if they'll ever have a cure.
Well, I mean, they've made
Hope
it
so.
manageable, so that's a really big
Yeah.
step forward. I remember back in the day, like if you were HIV positive, it was very hard for you to have any relationships, but now we have so much good medicine to allow people to live such normal lives, which is amazing.
Well, and
Yes,
unfortunately, all the
absolutely.
hysteria that came
Oh,
with it
yeah.
as well didn't help.
Have you ever seen the movie Gia?
No,
but
That's
I've
another
heard
one
of
to put
it.
on your list. Yeah, put it on the list.
We'll
Okay.
put it on the list.
That's the story of a woman who caught HIV in the 80s, and she was a
Wow.
model and gay,
Oh, okay.
played
Yeah.
by
I've heard of it
Angelina
too.
Jolie.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
totally. That's why I've heard of it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, we'll have to put it on the list.
absolutely. I've seen like all of the gayest lesbian movies. I feel like that was my gay education. And what's
Yeah.
that show that was on SBS? Queer as Folk.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
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 I never watched that, but I watched L Word like back to back.
Yeah, I watched L Word, but I was like out of high school when the L Word was like a thing. Like I was already out living.
Oh, were you? That's lucky.
Yeah.
I was just downloading it on LimeWire episode by episode.
Oh, God, you poor
I'm
computer.
getting a virus every second.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
your poor computer.
Also, back in 2005, internet was slow, right? Had to wait a whole day for an episode.
Hey,
And then the lag of the episodes.
I remember downloading another great lesbian movie that we were trying to watch with my friends called Lost and Delirious. It's got Piper Parabo and other people. Misha Barton's in it as well, actually.
Really?
As well.
Oh
Yeah.
no, I think I've heard of that.
I was on the internet and I watched / read the whole movie in screenshots. So they just had like screenshots and then an explanation of the movie or what was happening in the scene. And I like watched the movie that way because it wasn't available in Australia. And then, LimeWired it and it took 16 hours. We had like
Wow.
sleepover, and then got in trouble off her dad because there was so much like megabytes downloaded or whatever, too much.
And he couldn't use the phone at the same time.
We're all
for
showing
real,
the
yeah.
ages here.
hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah.
Before you move on, I got to move the dog. He wants to get out.
We've had a pod dog
puppy.
this whole time.
Oh, love.
He's in the
Good
shit
dog.
because he peed on the Christmas tree.
Can you feel your legs again?
Did he hit a present or?
No, we don't
No.
have any under there for that sole purpose.
Lucky.
I see.
Yes.
Those saucies, mate. They love a wee.
I know.
They do.
A little snaggy wee.
All right, moving on from the snaggy wee. December 15th, 1928, The Well of Loneliness, the first major novel in English with an explicitly pro-lesbian theme, is published in the US. Americans buy more than 20,000 copies of the book within the next month, making it a bestseller.
Wow.
How good's that? Lesbian book.
Pro-lesbian sounds strange.
Pro-lesbian.
Yes.
I'm just like, the
Pro-lesbian
lesbians.
theme.
The lesbians
Yeah.
made it happen. Look at that. 1928.
Let's go, lesbians.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Rally.
fully.
Rally.
Sounds like a political party. I am pro-lesbian.
December
Same.
18th, 1982. The Quebec government in Canada overwhelmingly approves a measure that gives domestic partners of same-sex couples legal protection and access to economic benefits previously restricted to only heterosexual couples. So that's a step forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the 80s,
It's
that's
strange
awesome.
the way that they like put together the laws and things like that. The different levels of what, I'm terribly explaining this, but like,
I know what
so
you
straight
mean.
couples will have all these rights and then you
Yeah.
have to change it all so that it's all, relevant to gay people.
Mm-hmm.
That's just too much for my brain, but I think it's just interesting because it's all differently worded in every country that changes the law sort of thing. Or the
Yeah.
idea might be different.
Also,
Slightly.
the fact that it's like, well, we'll give you the same rights to an extent, but we won't let you marry each other.
Yeah.
It's like all this
Yeah.
red tape.
It's also
For
sad
real.
that we have to have like these change of laws or different levels of laws in general. We'd hope that we lived in a world and a society where it could just be just people.
Yeah.
We're all
Just
just in the
is,
same
yeah.
Hopefully
Yes.
one day we get there, to be honest.
one day.
Yep, agree. We probably won't be here though, unfortunately.
No. The sun will have exploded by then.
Yeah.
Or the world will be run by AI
Well, that's true.
before then, I reckon.
Maybe there'll be queer AI.
In a year's podcast.
AI will be cool. Is queer AF.
Yeah.
There is no gender in AI.
That's
Well, that's
true.
true. That's awesome. In a year, this podcast will just be AI.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take some work hours out of my life.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, you guys are just
How-
like sitting in a dark room and there's just avatars of you like doing the whole podcast.
I would not be against it.
Yeah. The future.
yeah. December 19th, 1922, The God of Vengeance, a play by Sholem Asch, opens at Provincetown Playhouse. The drama, translated from Yiddish and performed in English for the first time, includes the first lesbian scenes on an American stage.
Wow.
That's cool.
That is cool.
That's cool.
Yiddish.
December 20th, 1955, Frank Kameny is fired from his job as an astronomer in the United States Army Map Service in Washington, D.C. because of his homosexuality. This event inspires him to become a gay rights activist.
Must be shit at maps if he's gay.
Well, that's not the reason he was fired, though.
Yeah, clearly not. But I'm just like, it must impede his ability to make good maps. There's a reason to fire him.
Yeah.
Bloody maps.
This next one's the last
past.
one.
You can read it.
You want me to read
Yeah.
it? It's a little close to home.
It's close to you. So.
No, we kept this. This last one's a fun one, and it's a Brisbane-based one. But Christmas Day,
Love.
we're going to end on Christmas Day. It's Jess from the Veronica's birthday, and it's probably also her sister's birthday because they are twins.
Yeah.
But Jess, as we know, is in a queer relationship.
Probably.
Her and Lisa were both born on December 25th.
I didn't know
Love.
Didn't ya?
that. Nah.
You're not a fan.
No.
I am.
I met them at Big Gay Day
Yeah,
You met them
nice.
also.
a couple of years
didn't you?
ago.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we shared a green room with them at Good Things.
Cool.
Yeah,
that's
it was
cool.
sick.
Yeah. They were so nice.
Yeah, it was really
Lovely
cool because
gals.
they were my first ever concert.
Yeah,
And
really.
when I saw them, I was like, that's what I want to do. I want to make music. And then that was like a full circle moment to share a green room and then have a mad old chat and tell them that story. So
That's
What
so
did they
cool.
say when you said that?
oh, they're so nice. They were just
Super
yeah,
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were like, oh, can we get like a photo with you? And then they were like, yeah. And then they asked if they could get a photo with us. And I thought that was like really nice. Like,
They're like, you're Teigan from the Hangover, 4ZZZ on Mondays. You're Teigan from Being
no, I
Jane
think I was
Lane.
trying to make us feel nice, and it worked.
Oh,
But yeah,
that's
they were
awesome.
lovely
Yeah,
girls.
That's so nice.
There's nothing better than, you know how they say like don't meet your idols or don't meet, you know, your favorite celebs. And it's so nice when they are so grounded and can make you feel special.
For real. And that's like not the easiest thing to do, like every time you meet somebody, you know what I mean? Like they gotta be on all the time.
Yeah, totally.
And they're very good at it. I feel like I've met like a few people who are like a bit famous, and some of them aren't nice and some of them are really nice and do just a good job of, you know, whatever they're doing. They're just nice people, they must be, you know?
Yeah, they must be. Because
Everyone we've had on this show has been really nice.
Yeah. Well, Teigan, being in a band, you would know what it's like. You get so many people come up and test your patience, you know? So, like, it would be very difficult to keep calm, cool, collected and...
All the time. Yeah, definitely. I'm just an a-hole walking around all the time and I do my best. But I just like imagine being a Veronica and like how many people would come up and be like, hey, and just constantly being a nice person.
Yeah, it'd be hard.
That'd be exhausting. Not
That
for
would
me,
be
to be honest.
exhausting.
Not for me.
It's hard being a nice person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How exhausting.
Well, Teigan, thank you so much.
Look, thanks for having me. Sorry to bring it to a doom level, doom and gloom.
No, that's okay.
As you said, learning history is not rainbows and butterflies.
No, there's trials and tribulations.
But look, hopefully the three of us made it a fun experience for everybody who is listening. I know that some people will be listening to this episode on Christmas Eve and some people will be listening to this on Christmas Day. So whatever you're doing
Merry
for
Christmas.
the holidays.
Merry Queermas.
Merry Queermas.
Oh, yeah.
We hope everybody has a fabulous, silly season, no matter what you're doing, whether you're spending it with your chosen family or your real family or family in general. Just have a good one. Take care. And
a huge thank you to all our continued love and support on socials and
absolutely.
podcasts and following us.
We will have another episode next week, but we are looking forward to bringing you a new year here on Just Gay Stuff podcast.
We are.
Well, until next week, I guess.
You better remember to
Stay gay, motherfuckers.
Woo! Thank you.
Thanks so
No
much.
worries. No, thanks for having me.
We're talking about just gay stuff.
Thanks for joining us on another episode of Just Gay Stuff. Make sure to follow us at Just Gay Stuff Podcast on all your socials and write to us with your stories at justgaystuffpodcast@gmail.com.